I am going to share my battle-tested, last-minute interview prep strategies that'll have you walking into that room like the CAM superstar you are. So are you ready to turn that interview panic into interview power? Great. And if you stick with me to the end, I've got a special freebie waiting for you, my exclusive interview preparation checklist. All right, heroes, let's kick things off with some quick company research. Now, when you're in a time crunch, you need to know exactly where to look. First stop is the company's website. We're not just browsing aimlessly here. Head straight for the About Us page, recent press releases, and their product and service pages. Next up, hit their social media accounts. LinkedIn is your best friend here. Check out their recent posts and see what they're excited about. Look up the LinkedIn profiles of your potential team members and the hiring manager. What's their background? Any shared connections? You just need enough info to show that you've done your homework and that you are genuinely interested in the company. All right. That's company research done. Let's tackle how to review your resume like a pro. Now, you might think I wrote it, like I should know what's on it, but trust me, a quick refresh can make all of the difference. The reason is, this is the thing that they're going to challenge you on and question you on in your interview. So you want that super fresh. Now start highlighting your key achievements. These are your golden tickets, the concrete results that show your impact. Next, look for any gaps or potential red flags. Job hopping, long periods of unemployment. Be ready to explain these positively. So remember, your resume is your personal marketing document. Every word should be working hard to sell you as the perfect candidate for this role. Make sure that you take some time to refresh what you wrote in it, because that is that's the basis on which you are going to be asked questions, and also what got you the interview. So let's dive into understanding the role that you're applying for. First things first, pull up that job description. We're going to dissect it like pros, and guess what? Our trusty digital highlighter is coming out to play again. Look at things like required skills, preferred qualifications, even the description about the company can tell you a lot. And if you know somebody in a similar role, give them a quick call. Ask about their day-to-day responsibilities. This insider information is gold in an interview. Here's another little pro tip. Prepare a couple of ideas on how you would approach the role in your first 90 days. Now, you're not talking about a full 90-day plan, but at least one or two ideas as how you would hit the ground running. This is going to show initiative and show that you are already thinking like a team member. Next up, we are going to tackle those common interview questions. You know, the ones that seem simple but can trip you up if you're not prepared. So we are going to create a cheat sheet of common questions and your killer answers. So open up Word, Google, pen and paper even, old school, and let's talk about some of them. So first up, tell me about yourself. It's going to come up. Craft a 60-second response that touches on your professional journey, your key achievements, and why you're perfect for this role. Practice it until it flows naturally. Next, why do you want to work here? Again, comes up all the time. This is where your company research is going to pay off. Highlight what excites you about their mission, recent projects, or company culture. Now let's tackle what's your greatest weakness. Pro tip is to choose a real weakness, but one that's not central to the job, and also not one that is a strength disguised as a weakness, like, oh, I'm a workaholic. Think of something genuine that you are actively working on, and that's the crucial point here. You want to explain how you're trying to improve it. Now, for a deeper dive into interview questions, check out my comprehensive article, 40 Best Key Account Manager Questions You Need to Prepare For. It is a goldmine of information, including all of the basic stuff they ask you all the time, and I'll link it in the description below. Now, here is the secret sauce when you're responding to questions you're being asked, is to use the STAR method: situation, task, action, and result. It's going to keep your answers concise and impactful. So let's see the STAR method in action with a real-world example. So imagine you're asked, tell me about a time you dealt with a difficult client. So here is how you might respond using STAR. The situation: one of our major clients was unhappy with the performance of our software product. The task: my goal was to address their concerns quickly and prevent losing the account. The action was that I scheduled an emergency meeting with the client and actively listened to their issues. And then I worked with our tech team to develop a customized action plan. And the result is not only did we retain the client, but their satisfaction scores increased by 40% in the following quarter. So if you have time, practice one or two of these answers out loud just to get a feel for the STAR method. Record yourself if you can. It might feel awkward, but it can be a game changer for your confidence. All right, heroes, it is time to tackle the trickiest part of any interview: behavioral questions. You know those tell me about a time when. The questions that make you scramble for examples. But fear not, because we're going to turn those curveballs into home runs. First, let's create a success story document. This is where you're going to compile, your greatest hits, your most impressive accomplishments, and challenging situations you've overcome. For each story, jot down the key details using the trusty STAR method: situation, task, action, and result. Remember, specificity is your friend here. Group them under things like leadership, problem solving, client management, teamwork, creativity, sales, whatever it might be. Now, soft skills are your differentiator. In a field of qualified candidates, your ability to connect, adapt, and think strategically can really set you apart. Practice adapting your success stories to fit different questions. You can repurpose that same client retention story and have it work for questions about problem solving, around communication, or even leadership. Now, if you're feeling overwhelmed or you want personalized guidance, I've got your back. I offer career power hours where we can dive deep into your specific situation, we can polish your responses, or we can even do mock interviews. Whether you need help crafting your star stories, fine-tuning your metrics, or just want a confidence booster, head on over to mytkc.net/career to book a session. Let's make sure you walk into that interview room feeling like the CAM superhero you are. Now, here's the game changer. Use numbers and metrics wherever possible. So as key account managers, metrics are our superpower. They turn vague claims into concrete proof of our value. So let's create what I call a metrics cheat sheet. This is going to be your secret weapon again in the interview. You want to start by listing your top 5 to 7 most impressive metrics. These could be things like revenue growth, around client retention rates, around upsell, cross-sell success rates, time to value improvements, net promoter scores. But don't just list the numbers. Think about the journey, and most importantly, the transformation. You want to always have a before and after for your metrics. It's not just about the end result. You want to show the improvement that you drove. Let's talk about how you can showcase your industry knowledge. Being an industry insider can set you apart from the competition. So let's create what I call an industry pulse document. This is your go-to resource for demonstrating your industry savvy. Start by identifying 3 to 5 major trends or challenges in your industry. These could be technological disruptions, regulatory changes, emerging market opportunities, shifting customer expectations, sustainability initiatives, and the list goes on. For each trend, prepare a brief analysis. What's driving it? How is it impacting business? What are some of the potential solutions? Connect these trends to the company that you're interviewing with. How might they be affected? What opportunities or challenges do these trends present for them? Now, personally, I am a big fan of consulting firms like PwC, Deloitte, McKinsey, KPMG. They all typically have industry-specific insights and reports that can give you a really high-level overview of key trends and challenges. And of course, practice weaving this knowledge into your responses. So for example, when discussing your approach to client retention, you might say something like, given the recent shift towards digital-first strategies in our industry, as reported in, or a report that I saw in, and mention the publication, I've been focusing on. You get it, right? Remember, the goal isn't to lecture the interviewer. It's not a teaching moment. It's just to demonstrate that you're plugged into the industry and you can provide valuable insights to clients. And the same is applicable if you're not from that industry. If you're looking to transfer to a new industry, well, the hiring manager knows that. They've got your CV. They know you don't have industry experience, but you can still demonstrate that you have been teaching yourself and you've been learning and brushing up on the latest trends and challenges. Let's talk about one of the most overlooked parts of interview prep, which is to prepare your own questions. Your questions show your genuine interest and can set you apart from other candidates. Now, this time we're going to create a question bank. Aim for 7 to 10 thoughtful questions. Tailor at least 2 to 3 of these questions to insights that you gained from your company research. That way, you are always going to have a question ready for, do you have any questions for us? Saying no is a missed opportunity and also a bit of a red flag for the hiring manager. So don't be that person, right? Always have a question about the interviewer's personal experience. Something like, what's been your most rewarding project since joining the company? Remember, the goal isn't to interrogate and it's not to show off. It's to have a meaningful dialogue, to listen carefully to their answers and to ask follow-up questions where appropriate. All right, heroes, we are at our final prep step, and it's a crucial one to sharpen your presentation skills. Now, as key account managers, we are always presenting to clients, to our teams, and of course, in interviews. Pay attention to your pace and tone. Speak clearly and vary your vocal inflection to keep your audience engaged. Remember, enthusiasm is contagious. Now, let's talk about the storytelling. We've prepared our star stories, we've prepared our metrics, but delivery matters. Practice transitioning smoothly between points and use analogies to explain complex ideas. Show passion for the role and for the company, and let your genuine interest shine through. And if this is a virtual interview, make sure you prepare for that too. Test your tech, find good lighting, make sure your background is professional. Presentation skills matter just as much on video as they do in person. Now, don't forget to download that last-minute interview prep checklist. The link is in the description. And you have got this, heroes. Go out there and showcase your CAM superpowers and land that dream job. And hey, when you do, drop a comment. Let me know how it went, because, I'm rooting for you. Until next time, heroes, I've been Warwick Brown, your CAM coach and mentor, signing off. Now go crush that interview, huh?